Testy, 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 testy. Testing, testing. Alright, we sound good. Give me 1 second. Let me share this stream, and then we finna get started. About to get the party started. 1 second. I'm gonna give everybody about 1 minute, then we're gonna get started to try to get into the live. Alright. We'll give people about 1 minute, then we're gonna get started. Give them about 20 more seconds, and then we're gonna get started. To get in the line, we get about 20 more seconds, then we're gonna get started. Alright, let's get started, y'all. Let's get started. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Keith back with another. Oh, I got to change the title. I got the title a little bit off. But back with another live stream. Today is Sunday, January 11th, 2026. And we're doing our weekly analysis for stocks and futures for the week of January 12th through the 15th, 2026. Okay. Oh no, I did. My calendar was right. Never mind. I mean, my title was right. It's the 16th. I was about to say, I know I ain't tripping. It's supposed to be like 4 whole days. So it's just the news. News stopped on Thursday. That's what just threw me off. Well, we're doing our weekly analysis for the week of January 12th through the 16th, 2026. Now, honestly, y'all already can see right now. Y'all see the dang calendar, man. This week looks like it's gonna be a nice week. Last week we had very nice news. It was mostly supposed to be for Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday and Friday was supposed to be our big high impact news days. Wednesday the news came out. Was very volatile. We went up high, went down low. But we ended up right back in the middle on Wednesday. So news pretty much was just neutral. Honestly, it was not exactly what we was expecting last week. We was looking for market to push one direction pretty hard. But like we said, it came out neutral, so we had pushed up real high and came right back down to where the opening was. Then Friday, coming into Friday, Friday was very volatile also, but it pretty much did the same thing except it ended up being on the upside. We had went up, back down, back up again on Friday. So it was pretty much neutral again on Friday. Did bring volatility, but like we said, we was looking for it to push more towards one certain direction. And it was more neutral than anything. What up, Mel? What up, Mel? So that news we had last week, it was like we said, it brought volatility, but it wasn't too much what we were expecting. But what I think it did was set us up for this week. After looking at this week calendar that we got, this economic news we got. So I'm definitely looking forward to this week. Definitely looking forward to this week because we got some nice news coming out. All right. Now let's go ahead and get into it. before we get into the charts, I know we go over first. It's the economic calendar. If you're looking to keep up with my calendar or see where I get the calendar at, that constantly updates each and every day. Like I tell y'all, then we might see what we see on Sunday, but it can update throughout the week. So it's very important for y'all to look and see what that calendar doing each and every day. But yeah, we're finna go over the economic news first. So let's get into it. Um, Monday, January 2nd. Really, we only got one thing coming out. One thing coming out on Monday, but y'all know Monday is market opening of the week, so it can bring volatility out the gate. Um, but the only news we have is at noon, 10-year, no auction. That is a nice impactful news event. It's not necessarily to where it will catapult the market one direction or other, but it will bring a nice spike, possibly showing up on our hourly time frame. Um, Next, going into Tuesday, January 13th. Now, this is where we got a lot of nice news coming out. We got core CPI at 7:30. 9 a.m. new home sales. And then at noon, we got the 30-year bond auction. All of those are nice news events, especially the CPI. Um, if y'all been on this page, y'all know CPI is one of the upper news events. So that definitely is going to be um, very impactful and bring a lot of volatility. Uh, that core CPI do come out at 7:30, so we will not be on the charts, but we will be looking at it. We will watch how it react, and it should show some reaction during that pre-market, and then it also will show the reaction at 8:30. So Tuesday, we're definitely looking forward to Tuesday. Then, like we said, new home sales at 9, and then at noon we got the 30-year bond auction. So Tuesday looking pretty nice for some nice trades. Then we're going into Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. 7:30 we got core retail sales, PPI, and then regular retail sales, all coming out at 7:30. 9 a.m. we have existing home sales, and then at 9:30 we got crude oil. Wednesday. Y'all know Wednesday is my day that I usually expect market to do a pullback or potential reversal. Um, Usually that's what I look for on Wednesdays. So that automatically brings initial volatility. Um, and then of course we got nice news coming out on Wednesdays. So PPI and then that core retail sales definitely are the two that I'll be looking for when they come out at 7:30. See what the market does, how it reacts. Um, Good thing it is pre-market, so we won't have to be too scared about entering our trades after 8:30. But we do have existing home sales at 9, so we might get in light until after that existing home sales come out. Um, the 9:30 crude oil, not really too much worried about that crude oil event at 9:30, so we might be able to trade pretty regular, especially after 9:30, 9:15 on Wednesday. But definitely look like a nice day. Also, it almost look like a mirror image of um Tuesday, except it's just the bonds auction at noon on Tuesday. Then we going into Thursday at 7:30. We got initial jobless claims. Oh my bad, it's Thursday, January 15th, 2026. 7:30 initial jobless claims. We got Fed manufacturing at 7:30, and then at 7:45 global manufacturing PMI. That's a nice one right there. That's a nice one. At 7:45. But for Thursday, all the news come out before 8. So really, the only thing we got to watch out for is once 8:30 hit, how does that news impact us? Um, Initially at 8:30, we might give it that first 15 minutes, and then the market should make its direction, and we should be able to trade normally. Thursday looks pretty nice. I like that all of the news is before 7. I mean before 8:30. So I do like that for sure for Thursday. And then as y'all see, we don't have nothing for Friday. Like I said, on the economic calendar, I put my news on 3-star news only. So if y'all don't see a date on here, or if y'all don't see all the news events, it's because I put it on 3-star news only. So Friday doesn't have 3-star news. It is the closing of a week though, so y'all know I automatically um put some respect on Friday name, as you could say, because it's the end of the week. And market, if the market didn't go to a certain level that it was looking to go to, it's going to finish it on that Friday. Okay. So nice looking week, man. I'm not gonna lie. I like all the news before one at 1 p.m. and I like that. I like to see calendars like that. Can bring a very nice eventful week this week. And I kind of got a good feeling about this week. So yeah, I like this economic calendar. Now going into earnings for this week. Um, Looking at this chart, we do have a couple names that I'm familiar with. Honestly, this more is the bank earnings week look like it's the bank's earning week. Let's just run through this real quick because as y'all see on this chart, it's really not that many different earnings coming out this week. I believe next week or the week after will be some of the bigger names coming out. So we definitely be anticipating that. But Monday, coming in Monday, honestly, nothing major on Monday when it comes to earnings. Moving over to Tuesday before the open, we got Delta. Might check out Delta. Other than that, not really interested in anything. Wednesday, like we said, this is the banks week, so a lot of banks coming out. Citi, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, in the pre-market. Uh, I mean, if you like trading banks, I traded banks one time last year. No, 2 times because I used to trade J.P. Morgan and um, I might check out. Usually, I don't check out the smaller name banks. But maybe we'll check it out. We just got some free time. But Wednesday, the most recognizable names, of course, is Wells Fargo, Citi, and then Bank of America. Going into Thursday. They got Morgan Stanley. I might check out Morgan Stanley and TSMC. I definitely might look at that also. Morgan Stanley and TSMC is probably two I will actually look at. BlackRock, I might check them out. I heard of their name. I didn't really look at their charts before. But I might check out BlackRock for their earnings. Um, Other than that, nothing too crazy. And then Friday we got Regions, PNC, and M&T Bank. I never checked out M&T Bank, but y'all know me as ain't that's what the Ravens Stadium, M&T? I might have checked them out, and y'all know my Ravens lost, man, so I'm a little upset about that. We didn't get to make the playoffs by a field goal, but it's cool. Can't be too mad about that. You know, we got rid of our coach. Time to go in with a new one. But I PNC, that's recognizable. I traded PNC before, so I might check them out again. Yeah, earnings really nothing crazy with earnings. Of course, it's the banks. So that's another reason why I might be anticipating something nice coming this week. Just because if the banks reporting their earnings, y'all know what do a lot of people speak on? They say, "Hey, oh, the banks putting money in the market. Banks doing this, banks doing that." So I'm kind of looking at for it's the bank week of earnings. Probably reveal some things for certain companies and stuff to move the market this week. So definitely looking at that. Um, this is crazy. This dang gold chart. I was on this gold chart before the market opened today. Um, but I'm finna go over the charts, of course, so y'all get on the charts. But let me just show y'all this gold chart, man. The gold chart went crazy today. Oh man, literally went crazy. Um, Honestly, look at this. We're gonna go over our normal list, but I just want to show y'all this beautiful entry on gold. If y'all seen them drawings we did have on here, we did remove it just then, but what we was looking for was a break above this daily gap, right? Break above this daily gap, retest to go higher. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Only thing that sucked, it happened on a Sunday when we're not on the charts. That's the only thing that sucks because we usually trade on Mondays. The only time we trade on Sunday, we might do one contract and that's it. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get in this trade. We did watch it, but I didn't get in because I said, "Hey, I'm not gonna get in. Not gonna get in without being on stream." I'm trying to be a little bit more disciplined when it comes to taking my trades. Because I know I usually try to um take trades on stream, but these accounts, I want to keep all my trades on stream, so very transparent. No really taking trades off stream on these accounts. Of course, my personal Ninja Trader accounts that I don't mind taking those off stream, but these accounts, like these prop firm accounts and stuff, I kind of want to take them on stream with y'all. So trying to do that, establish some more discipline with those. But looking at the chart, like we said, we was looking for what? I think Mel was the one that brought up Mel. Yeah, you were in here, Mel. I believe you was the one that brought it up on Wednesday to look at gold. And when I looked on Wednesday, we ended up doing this analysis that day you told us to look at it, and we drew it all up. Right, we drew it all up. Of course, I had these hourly ones, but I just deleted just now just to clear the chart up. But we drew it all up. Yeah, Mel. We drew it all up. And when we was talking to Mel, we said, hey, overall, if you're looking at the daily, we want that break, retest of this daily gap. And then we're looking to go higher, all back to these all-time highs. What happened? We had to break, retest. Friday end up giving us our green counter and making that new higher high, solidified this low down here, right here. And then all we needed now was, they said, I actually watched gold and they're moving too. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I went crazy today. It literally went to all time highs. And it literally did it. We just opened up an hour ago or an hour and a half ago, so literally shot straight up to the all time highs. But like we said, it broke. Hold up, and it was a beautiful, beautiful trade, man. I can't even lie. Broke, retest the gap, didn't close back inside the gap, so the retest is doing nice. Once we pushed past on Friday and made that higher high, we confirmed our uptrend above this gap. That's telling us, hey, we don't want to come back down here no more now. Pretty much that's what it's telling us. Once we confirm an uptrend above the gap, it's saying we do not want to come back down to that gap until we go reach another target. Well, where's the next target? These all-time highs. Beautiful, 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 beautiful trade right there. Beautiful trade. I'm talking about A plus setup. That was an A plus setup right there. Now we just confirm when we just made a new higher high, we just solidified it so we can actually adjust that. But I just wanted to go over that, man. That was just a beautiful textbook setup, man. That was a textbook setup. And then even if you was looking at it like this, hold up, give me 1 second. Where's the drawing tool? Oh, I brought it down here. I about to say, where my drawing tools thing go? You was looking at it like this. You know what I'm saying? We got high, low, high, high. Third, that's number 3 entry when it breaks. Now, like we said, since we're trading on prop firm, gotta close on a Friday. So you had to close it on Friday. The only way you was able to catch this is if you seen this on Friday and said, "Oh, we just made a higher high. We should be pushing up to them all-time highs." If you got on right at the Sunday opening, man, you done came up. Pretty nice smooth trade. You probably don't even have to trade today. Because it built that uptrend and it never looked back. Just kept going. Never came and retest any solidified levels. So it was pretty nice. Just like this. See that? Never retest any of these solidified levels on that 5 minute. So it was beautiful, straight to target. But I just wanted to go over that real quick. Now we're finna get into our charts and do our analysis, okay? SPY. We're gonna go to SPY first. Let's check out SPY first. I'm gonna look at MNQ, Mel. We just gonna run down our list real quick. Alright. We're gonna get on that MNQ. Like I said, I don't really trade on Sundays, so we ain't really rushing to get in no trade. I mean, we ain't trying to hurry in no trade. We can go through our setups. Alright. Looking at SPY. Let's go to that weekly first, because we still got a little time on that monthly. Actually, we can glance at the monthly, see what it's looking like so far. Looking at the monthly, we just continue. We just broke previous high on previous month high. So it already did its job. It's already did its requirements for this week. I mean this month. So at this point, we at the hands of the monthly. We want to see if it can hold above this high of 691.66. Really, I'm looking forward to hold above this high right here at 687.67 because we never closed above it yet. So this the high I'm really looking forward to hold above. Going to that weekly though, looking at the weekly, we got high, low, higher high, low. So we actually solidified a weekly higher low. So that's nice that we see that. We solidified this 679.82 level right here. This is our new solidified level on the weekly. Got our higher high. Green candle closed above previous high. Should see a continuation of resweeping these highs this week. Should see continuation of resweeping on highs this week unless we open up gapping down, and we can come take that lower low. Okay. But this weekly clearly bullish right now. Daily, looking at the daily, pretty much the same thing as a weekly. We got the high, low, higher high. We solidified this low down here. Then we made another low and we made another higher high. So we we solidified another low right here. So on SPY daily, this January 8th, 2026 candle, the low of that is 687.49. We solidified on the daily. Okay. So let's get these drawings on here. I know this is the calendar. This is the time frame we do our drawings. All right. So like we said, we had high, low, then we solidified it, and we broke right here. So got that solidified. We do got this solidified right underneath, but I'm gonna delete it just so we can have some cleaner charts. But we do know to go back and look at our old solidified levels once one get broken. Okay. All right. So we solidified that level. Then like we said, we end up making a higher high, made a low. Then we made another higher high, so we solidified this low at 679.820. I don't know. Yeah, the drawing's right. That's just top of a gap. So we solidified this at 679.82. I don't know why I said 820. Then we came right back again and made another solidified level, like we just said. We ended up making another higher high, made a low, then made another higher high. So we solidified this low right here at 687.49. So that's nice for if anybody looking to potentially go long. We do got a lot of solidified levels to try to respect, instead of it being all the way back down here at 648. Of course we got one down here, but at least we got two up top to potentially hold us up to keep pushing us going higher. If it do breaks these two, of course it got nothing but space. It's got from 679 all the way down to 648 to potentially stay overall bullish. It can bounce at any of these other gaps if it breaks that 679.82 level. Okay. Now looking at I ain't mean to drag that. Looking at these charts, what do we expect for this week? Like we said, looking at the charts, we've been making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Now this most recent area we did fail to close. Actually, no, we did close above. We closed above that previous high. Okay, so we did close above that previous high. What we want to see is market try to build a base above that previous high. Let's mark out with a white line. Look for market to build a base above 693.96. Of course, like we said, it's the same thing every single week. Same thing. Once we break a high or break a gap, all we look for is market to build a base above, make that uptrend, and then it's gonna let us know, hey, it's not trying to come down here no more. It's trying to go to the next key level. Of course, SPY we at all time highs, so we don't have any key levels over here to the left. pretty much the only way you'll have to trade this is once it makes that uptrend off of this previous high. You just go to the lower time frame, you follow behind the solidified levels. Okay. Now I do want to see SPY retest this high, this previous high. So that's our target. This is our target up here for a higher high to keep this trend going. But like I said, I want to see us stay above 693. Honestly, if we get below it, then I know we probably gonna bounce off some type of lower time frame gap. Let's remove these hourly levels. Remove these hourly levels real quick. We can always bring them back. All right, so like we said, for our target, 695.31. Our solidified level is 687.49. So what do we know we must see? Our trade should happen in between these two lines. Okay, should happen. Let me just remove this so y'all won't be confused. In between these two lines. Okay, our trade should be happening inside here. We're overall bullish. Where do we look to go long off of this chart? In the event that we start switching bearish on this daily, then we expect what? Market to bounce off of this, the one and only gap we have right here. This daily fair value gap to potentially go back to the all-time high. We're looking for that for the longs, okay? For the longs. Currently, what is market in though? The market is bullish on the daily. So based on the daily, more than likely we're not finna come down here just yet. Might just go straight up to them highs looking at the daily because we don't have a downtrend. And that's another rule. It's certain rules that I need to put videos out on and post to the Discord. I think I mentioned it last week, but my rule is whatever time frame I see that. Say if we're in an uptrend and then we switch to a downtrend somewhere up here, just say we made a low, high, lower, low, then I'm always expecting it to come down to a gap. That's when I'm knowing, hey, it made a downtrend, it got to bounce off of some type of gap at this point. If it's just doing a pullback and it didn't make a full downtrend, it don't necessarily have to come to a gap. But once it makes a downtrend, it's supposed to go to whatever time frame that downtrend on. It's supposed to be at least going to a gap on that time frame to potentially bounce. So like I was saying, if it's daily, we get a low, high, lower, low, then I definitely expect it to come down here, okay, to try to retest this gap. But right now, since we in the uptrend, no downtrend formed so far, we can just see slight pullback, or even we can see a hard pullback, then push up higher. Okay. For the bears, honestly, y'all got 1 and 2 positions to get in right now. Either the retest of 695.31. If markets come up there, it fails, retest it and make a downtrend, you can take some shorts, like I said, down to that daily gap. Or if you're on the hourly, maybe an hourly gap, if that downtrend on the hourly. Another entry for the shorts, can't get in those shorts until we break what? 687.49. Got to break that solidified level for you. Breaks that solidified level. Definitely looking forward to go down to the bottom of this gap at 685.36. We can keep pushing past there. Next target is this next solidified level down here at 679.82. And there's no other gaps in the way. So once we break this daily gap, it should be smooth sailing for the shorts. Okay. And that's what we're looking for pretty much this week. That's all we need this week. Either market breaking above 695. 0.31, and we take a loans based off of uptrend forming above it. Anything below that, then we can potentially look for shorts. But like I said, I'm more strong on them shorts once we make a lower low. So we had to come below 687.49. Only other time I take shorts in here, it had to be like scalping, because overall trend is telling us to go long. Okay, overall trend is telling us to go long, and I kind of go see. We gonna see, because I'm leaning. Some telling me to start leaning back to how we were trading before. Just trading one direction. If our overall buy is bullish, we just gonna trade that one direction. Like I said, I can scalp opposite direction, but I think we're gonna start when we trade and pull backs. We're gonna just start sizing down a little bit more. So if I'm to say if I'm looking at this week and I'm saying, hey, we're bullish right now overall, if I do get in any type of shorts, I'm going to limit myself to just no more than 2 contracts in them shorts, just because I know overall the market want to go up. Okay, market want to go up. But that is our SPY analysis. Let's go to QQQ. And we did start early on this analysis, y'all, so that do give us a nice amount of time to go over these charts. Actually, let me go back to SPY real quick. I want to look at that hourly real quick to see what's going on in that aftermarket. Oh, aftermarket, we did, like you said, we made that high. We are moving up. So whenever we do retest this, like we said, for them shorts, and we come retest it and we fail, y'all can take them light shorts. Like we said, down to either hourly gap, which is right here. This is the first hourly gap. Then got another one here at 692.15 area. Another one at 691.30. Another one at it's a lot of hourly gaps you could take it down to, but if you'll take it down to at least the first gap that you see, and then see if it keep breaking to potentially go all the way down that 689. But like we said, we looking for the bulls. We looking for the longs. So what I want to see is break up. Come on now, drawing two. Break above. Start building that uptrend above. That's what I want to see. All right, going to QQQ. On that, let's go to the monthly first. See what it's looking like. Monthly QQQ. Now, QQQ, we've been saying this since last week. QQQ is not at its all-time highs yet. SPY is. QQQ, we still got a lot of space to go. We got a lot of room to go. So it looks a little bit more enticing for them longs. Especially once QQQ break the high. Once QQQ break this monthly high and it goes above 636.19, that's probably gonna be a beautiful continuation. He said gold just hit new all-time high. LOL. I ain't trying to distract you, but man, gold pumping. Yeah, I know. When we were just talking about it, it made that new all-time high. Gold going crazy. Now you good, Mel? You good? But yeah, when we just talked about it, it already made a new all-time high. It's probably pushed even more now. So, but now you good, Mel? You ain't distracting. This is what analysis this analysis stream is for. I'm gonna check out charts that y'all want me to look at and stuff. But like we said, we're gonna do our list first, and then we're gonna go and jump over to it. We're gonna run down the list. All right, but looking at that monthly, like we said, it breaks this high of 636.19. I can see a nice continuation pushing. I can see a nice continuation pushing, possibly up to 660s. Definitely look nice though. But we really gotta take this high for this QQQ. Looking at the weekly though, we end up making high, lower, low, high, low. Ooh, right now we're consolidating on this weekly on QQQ. Once we break a new high, so once we break possibly this 628.11, I definitely like these potential longs up to their all-time highs. Only thing that, of course, the max stop is down at 599. Right here, this December 15th candle. But I definitely like potentially them longs once we break that 628.40 level. Okay. But right now it's consolidating. QQ is consolidating. We didn't make new lower lows. We didn't make new higher highs quite yet. Or right here we did. This last second we just made a new higher high. But pretty much consolidating in the wedge pattern. Then we go into the daily. Looking at the charts. Consolidating also on that daily. Like I said, ultimate target. Let's go ahead and turn the drawings back on. Ultimate target is 636.19. Last solidified level we got all the way down here at 543.46. This is how SPY was at first, but now SPY made them new all-time highs. Now the solidified level was brought way higher up. I don't know what this line is. I don't know why it's just randomly there. I don't know what that line was. Maybe it just ran. I made a mistake and dragged it somewhere. But yeah, last solidified 543.46. Okay. Now we get, like we said, got potential higher lows at 579.99. But only way it's gonna make this solidify is once we take this high of that 636.19. Right now, we said what market is consolidating. We got a higher high, lower low, high, low, high, low, high, low, then high. So we consolidating. We did make a higher high here, though. I will say that we did make a higher high right here. Once we made this Tuesday, January 6th count, we beat this previous high over here to the left. So we did make a higher high. Is this market starting to try to make an uptrend for QQQ? That's what we looking at. Is it starting to try to make an uptrend now for QQQ to lead us to them all-time highs? That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at right now. We're trying to see the market trying to make this uptrend. So to confirm the uptrend, market need to what? Take this previous high right here because that will make that next higher high. Let me turn my man on. That will make this new higher high. So we need to take this high of 627.94. We got like extremely close. Let me see. Did we get it? Nah, we at 627.89. So we was 5 cents away from breaking it and making that higher high to confirm that uptrend going. I'm gonna put an alert on it. Okay. Once we take that high, we'll be looking at this low right here at 617.80 for our new intra trend. I guess that's the new word we can say, intra trend, because it's within the overall trend. But we're looking at it as our new higher low and our potential new respected level right there at 617.80. Okay. Once we break that high, make that new higher high, for this week, what I'm looking for is us to continue pushing above these highs at 628.40. And I really, really want to see us come up to that 629 daily gap right here. 629 daily gap. I really want to see us push up to that and start building base above there to lead us to them all-time highs. No more gaps in the way. So that should be what leads us to that all-time high. Okay. So 629 is a key level for me on QQQ. Now for the shorts, y'all, of course, want that downtrend coming off of that daily gap, take it back to the bottom of the gap, or if we just gap down below or push below this daily gap at 626.14. Y'all want to see what downtrend take us down to 623.19 gap. Okay, that's all we looking for. That's all we looking for. All right, now let's go check out ES. Now we on to the futures market, y'all. On to the futures market. ES, of course, we use what? ES is pretty much like SPY for us. It's just futures version. Okay, so we'll look at the monthly real quick. Monthly ES just made a new higher high. What we look for in the monthly? Can we close above previous high, which was 7,011.75? Right now we're underneath it, so it's doing some type of pullback. It took the high and it's just doing a pullback right now, pretty much. It could lead to a reversal, drop down to back to a downtrend, but the market did its job. Market did its job. It took that previous high, so at this point we're trying to see, is it gonna stay above 7,011.75? If it stay above and we start getting an uptrend above it, expect that market to explode, pushing up possibly to the 7,080, 7,100s level. Okay, but that's key we looking for by the end of this month. Are we gonna stay above 7,011.75? That's huge. That's huge for us. Of course, closing green still, even if we don't push past it, we can just have a pullback and then go retest it again. If we completely flip red, then we know what market saying, hey, we got to come down. It's trying to go down. Okay. So this monthly definitely got some nice potential on ES. Definitely got some nice potential. Looking at the weekly, of course, we made what? We made lower low, higher high. Okay, so now we need pretty much a new higher low, because we had lower low, higher high. Okay, need new higher low and then another higher high that will confirm our uptrend. for ES. Okay. Last week was green, so we could see potentially us pull back and then go higher, because like we said, we swept the high, failed to close above the high. So we could pull back, then go higher, or it could just be straight pull back. You know, it could just say, hey, we finna switch back bears. Gotta be careful, gotta watch out for that. But we know what? After it made that high, it still closed green. You know, it still closed green. So green telling us, hey, we could be still looking for a high. You know, still be looking for a high. Drop it down to that daily. Okay. This is where we do our charting, our drawings. Y'all know. Looking at the daily, ultimate target, of course, what is this high over here at 7,011? Where was it? Oh, no. Draw. Come on. 7,011.75. Come on. Right there. That's our ultimate target. Last solidified level, down here at 6,567.75. Of course, if y'all on Top Step, it's a little bit off for y'all. The numbers are a little bit different. That's just how TradingView and Top Step is. But yeah, those the ultimate. My bad. I said that's the target. We already took that target. My bad. We already took that target. So our new target is 7,017.50. My bad. I meant to say we're looking to see if we can close and stay above this level. That was me when I was talking about that monthly. So that 7,011.75 is that's what we want to see us build an uptrend above for that monthly. But we already took it on the daily and weekly. We took the high. We just gotta see, can we stay above it? That's the thing. Like we said, solidify level down there at 67.75. Of course, we got intraday higher lows. Intra-trend higher lows. Looking at this daily though, we just made a new higher high. All right, we just made a new higher high. What comes next? Potentially a new higher low, unless we want to keep making these highs. Okay. Now, looking at this intra trend or just this trend right here, the most recent trend we got high, low, higher, low, higher, high. The market come down here and take this low of 6,935.25. We take that low, it's gonna form a lower low, potentially setting up for a downtrend. And we could be coming to retest these daily gaps down here. Okay, could be retesting these daily gaps down here. Let me bring these out. Okay, but what we're looking for, bears or bulls? Let's go bulls first, since it's overall bullish. Bulls first. Bulls, what we want to see. We want to see market above, like we just said, above that 7,011.75 level. Start making an uptrend, especially if we can get above 7,017. But my key level is that 7,011.75 level. We see an uptrend starting to form above there. We love them longs, especially we see the uptrend forming on the hourly or something like that. We like them longs, okay? Like them longs. Another potential entry, if that pullback is extremely strong and we come down to the daily gap, we can look for potential bounces off of these daily gaps. Okay, back up to them highs. We got two gaps to protect this previous higher low we made. Okay, so those are two potential entries for them longs. Okay, and then of course, if it was on the hourly or something, we can be looking for it to bounce off an hourly gap. Okay, but those are our potential entries on it based off the daily. Now for the shorts, for the bears, what y'all want to see? One, y'all want to see what? Downtrend forming underneath that 7,011.75 low. So once it came up there, y'all want to see what? Downtrend possibly on the hourly or something lower than the daily. See a downtrend form and take it down to hourly gaps or whatever time frame you got in gaps. Okay. If the daily switch bearish, so we get low, high, lower, low. You definitely want to see it come down to the gap, or even we get the red candle, you possibly want to see it come down to that gap on the shorts, and that'd be your ultimate target down there at 6,000. 6,969. Okay. Of course, another potential short entry is below this daily gap. So below 6,963, you can take it down to that 6,952 level. Okay. Right now, looking at these charts, boy, MES. Dang, I just thought so. I supposed did this for MES, but they the same thing. ES and MES the same thing. But I told y'all, I said I'm gonna start charting the micros for y'all instead of the regulars. But it's okay. We'll do it for MNQ then. But looking at this chart, it's already coming down. Let's drop down to that hourly C. Hourly, we took that 7,011. Didn't really get no entry for the short. Hourly just straight dropped. Didn't really get no entry for them shorts. Let's drop down to a lower time frame and see if it gave an entry. It gave one potential entry here on today, Sunday. It made that lower low, made that downtrend underneath that 7,011 level. Stop loss will be up there. Target will be what? 5-minute, excuse me, 5-minute lows. Okay, so once this red came, next target was here. Then next target after that was the bottom of this daily gap. If it closed past there, next target was the bottom of this gap. It closed past there. Next target is this gap. Now we didn't close in this past this gap, so we might be getting ready to bounce here. Based off this 5-minute. Oh, my bad. Did not close. What the world? Did not close past this 5-minute gap here just yet, but it didn't close green, so it can come back and retest it. But if it closed green and then you see an uptrend, then it's probably switching back to the upside. But it's the last gap it has before it gets to that daily gap. Okay. But 5-minute gave you an entry. Hourly did not give you an entry. Let's see the 15. 15 did give you an entry also. 15-minute gave you an entry. And it's also a 15-minute gap sitting here. So like I said, if it can't close in this 15 or that 5-minute gap, probably go bounce back up and wait until tomorrow to potentially either come down or reverse back to the upside. But yeah, that is what we're looking for ES. Let's go over M and Q now. Go over M and Q. We're gonna go over M and Q, not regular M and Q. You know what? These is our golden levels, but I'm gonna delete them because we didn't hit the golden levels just yet, which was that high up there. And I want to clean up these charts. So we're going to delete a lot of these lines. And of course, y'all know I have all these lines when it's the charts that I trade on actively. And we always got to clean them up every single time. Hold up. I'm almost done. Let me get rid of these hourly gaps and then we can get into it. That's probably something I need to start doing before I get on stream. Go and delete the old drawings. Don't do that before we get on stream. All right. Looking at the monthly on MNQ, it was red. Right now we're green. It don't necessarily mean we're gonna be green for this month, but right now we're green. When we get that green candle, I definitely gonna start looking for them loans to potentially come to this all-time highs at 26,649. Okay, we do take that high, we solidify this low. If we can close past that high, we can see continuation even further up. Looking at the weekly, pretty much looking like QQQ consolidating into a wedge triangle. We did what? We did make a new higher high. So now we got high, low, higher high. We can look for this potentially to be our new solidified level within inside the trend. At 25,265.25. Okay, we want to see market stay above there. Going to that daily on MNQ, this is where we do our drawings and our analysis. Looking at these charts, we got what? Like we said, just like the week, we got high, lower low, high, low, high, low, higher high, low. Now we're trying to see what we're going to do for this weekly, okay? I mean, it's daily. Looking at the overall structure, overall bullish, ultimate target is 26,649. last solidified level is down here at 23,516. Okay. Now, zooming in, looking at the most recent trends and stuff. Like we said, we got high, low, higher, high. So we're gonna use this low. I don't know why this low sitting here. Oh well, no, this is once we finally take the high. My bad, my bad. This is potentially. But we're gonna use this low right now as our solidified level in this most recent trend at 25,265.25. Don't really want to see market come down below there. If we want to be bullish, looking for the gaps that's in the way. We got potential gap bounce off of 25,738. Potential bounce off of 25,834 to protect that gap. Protect this level here. Now, right now, it already broke through this gap, so I'm more leaning towards this gap here. This daily gap right here at 25,738 to potentially be where we see that bounce to go long. We do got a gap right here too. I didn't mark, but I ain't finna. I'm still gonna mark because in between another gap. But looking at this chart, like we said, we made high, low, higher, high. Or my bad, high, low, higher, high. Then we made low. We got a high. Didn't make the higher high. So next thing we're looking for is what? Next target currently is what? 25,998. We want to see that get taken to make that new higher high for this higher low to be solidified. Okay. We want to see that happen first. Want to see that get taken. That's what the bulls want. We want this uptrend to keep going. So like we said, potential interest for the bulls. Need that bounce. Look for that bounce either off of this daily gap, like we said. Bounce off this daily gap. Of course, first target had to be this gap first because we got to see if we can break back above. But bounce off of 25,738. That is what we're looking for, potential longs. Another potential entry. Of course, this daily gap inside here at 25,629.50. Another potential entry. Well, those are two gaps we're looking for before we come down to this low right here that we said we're looking for to be potential new higher low. So those are the two entries we're looking for right now for the bulls. And then of course, if we push back above this daily gap, we can take it off of 25,834. Okay. So those for the bulls. Once we break this 25,569 level, then hey, we got to be neutral at that point because we made a lower low. We had to be neutral at that point. Okay. For the bears, what the bears want to see? Bears pretty much just want to see just the opposite. They want to see us below 25,738, and they want to see that downtrend forming on that lower time frame, preferably the 1 hour 15-minute. Take it down to 25,629. That's what the bears want to see. And then even another trade for the bears is once we break this low down here at 25,569, they want to see us what? Get below this previous daily gap at 25,545 and take it all the way back down to 25,400 level. Okay, so those for the bears. Okay. So those are our potential entries, and y'all let me know, Mel and anybody else who in the stream. Let me know if y'all want me to start putting my drawing tools on my analysis, like how I was just saying, longs and shorts. Do y'all want me to start doing this to help make the strings a little bit better so y'all know what I'm looking for? I do the drawings, but do y'all want me to do these on here instead? Also, I ain't gonna say instead. Do y'all want me to do this also so y'all can have it to see, or is y'all perfectly fine with the drawing, like the ABC drawings? If y'all ain't gotta do it right now, but if y'all be like, hey, yeah, Keys, let's see that potentially get done, We want to see these drawing tools, so we just already know exactly the risk to reward. You said you can do that? Okay, man, I got you. I got you. And when I do these though, Mel, I'm gonna do them just to the first targets. I guess you can say I'm gonna do them to the first targets. Okay. So like, yeah, I might be thinking these loans gonna take us all the way back to this high, but I'm just gonna do the drawing tool to the first target. Okay. I'm just gonna do it to the first target. He said you ain't gotta do it for every chart, but he said, but the favorite trade ones should be good. Okay, okay, I got you. So I might do it for like M&Q because I know we trade M&Q a lot. Might do it for SPY, and I might do it for MYM because I trade gold, but I might do it for those. He said, bet the first target. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do it for. I'm gonna do it to the first targets. Okay, so for shorts, this based off the daily, so we have to do it like that. Yeah, this based off the daily. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do these on based off the hourly. Yeah, I'm gonna do these on the hourly, Smell. Just because the daily, by the time we see a downtrend for the daily, it's probably gonna already go to that next target. But no, we can do it for this. We can do it for this. It's fine. We can always adjust it once we live trading. You know, once we live trading and going down to the lower time frame. Y'all just getting a general understanding of it, what we looking for. But yeah, that's M&Q. That's what we look for on M&Q. Yeah, I can put this up here then, I guess. Can I do it for this? Up here. So if y'all want to put these drawing tools also, so y'all can kind of get an understand where to look for them trades at, y'all can do it just like that also. So y'all can copy exactly how we setting up this. All right. Let's go over. We got MYM next. Okay, got MYM. Oh, excuse me. Dang, I went and ate good today, man. Had some buffalo. I'm definitely hit the spot, but it's sure coming back up. MYM monthly bullish. Got higher low. Got higher high, higher low, higher high. Want to see can we close past this previous month high, which was at 49,291. That's the key level we looking for that monthly. But I don't really need to mark it right now because we got so many days left in the month. So I'm gonna mark that out once we get closer to the end of the month. Okay. Weekly. Looking at the weekly, higher high, higher high. Did make higher high, low, higher high. Okay, so solidify low for the weekly, 48,000. 48,000. What is it? 48,089. Potential new higher low is at 49,002. Okay, potential. Oh, I'm on the daily. My bad. I thought I was on the weekly. I thought I clicked weekly. My bad. Well, it's still the same thing for the weekly anyway. Yeah, still the same thing for the weekly. Solidify low at 48,089. And we did make our high at 49,879. Now let's go back to that daily. Well, we pretty much called out our targets. But target is 49,879, which is this high right here. This Wednesday, January 7th candle. Solidified level is 48,089. So that let us know what our trades have to be within inside of these two ranges. Had to be within inside these two ranges. Looking at the charts, we got our higher high, made a low. We got that green candle marking saying, hey, we're looking for some type of high right now. Either a new higher high, if we can go break that high, or it can be what? A lower high, come back down, make a lower low. Okay. So looking at this chart though, right now we gotta stay overall bullish because we got all green daily candles right now. Can't really want to go short based off the daily. If you go to the hourly, maybe you can find short entries. But based off the daily, we gotta stay bullish right now. For the daily, what we looking for? Look for potential bounce off of this only if we switch back bearish or say market give us a red candle potentially. We'll look for it to come down here. So we want that bounce off of this daily gap back up to them all-time highs. So we need that bounce off of 49,000.9. I mean 49,095. That'll be a potential entry for them longs. Another potential entry. Actually, we ain't gonna say nothing about another potential entry right now, cause what? We were looking for this to be a potential our new higher low. Once it breaks this 49,002 level, then we can say another potential entry can be right here at this next cap. But right now, we looking for this to be the new higher low. This is the only option for us to go long on this daily. Okay, so we'll look for a bounce down there once we break this low and make a lower low. Bouncing down. All right, but right now it's not bearish on a daily, so it don't have to come down to the top of this gap. It can literally just pull back then go higher. That's all we look for the long. For the shorts, honestly, looking at the daily for the bears, y'all want to see what us come retest this high at 49,879 and reject off of it. You know, market failed to go above it. Nice red candle come after. You look for it to come down to that 49,095 level. Okay. Another potential entry, which I like a little bit better. Unless we get like low, high, lower, low, then I like it down here. But another entry is if we take this low here at 49,002 and we break, retest on approximately the 5 or the 15 minute, we can take it down to 48,874. Okay, we like that for potential entries for the short. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna do it for MNQ, MYM, and then SPY. So we're gonna do this drawing tool. Let's get this drawing tool potentially going long. But this is only if we come down here. That's the thing. This is only if we come down here. Like I said, we might not even come down here on MYM. But that's potential for the longs if we come back down there. Shorts. Short. We break below. Want to see it. At least go to this first target. And actually, NYM, if it do come down there, it depends on how high the high goes. Like I said, if it just flip red today and then we come down here, then first target will be sitting there at that high. Okay. We could, like I said, we gonna get better at doing these, seeing how we want to do it for y'all. These drawing tools right here. It's just the first day of us trying to really do it. Because of course these get adjusted as the week go by. Cause like I said, if we come down here and make a low, you know, the next target high would be up here, you know, and we'll drop that down. But those are the two potential entries. Well, actually, we got another entry if we don't come down there. Like we said, for the longs above here. But it ain't no real target. So yeah, we ain't even gonna draw that. Cause that's all-time highs. We ain't even gonna draw that yet. So that's what we looking for MYM though. That's what we looking for MYM. Look at the hourly real quick on MYM. So it's in the downtrend. Okay. In the downtrend, so now what? I'm expecting it to what? Bounce off some type of gap. Looking at that hourly, got a gap here. Got multiple gaps, man. Looking at the hourly, got a gap there. We already in the gap, so it could bounce at the bottom of this gap, but I'm gonna just mark this one right now. Got that gap. Got this gap here to potentially bounce off of. We got a big, huge gap. I ain't gonna mark no more. I'm gonna use these two for right now. Alright. Now let's go check out gold. Mel been talking about gold, man. He said gold going crazy. Yeah, gold is going crazy, man. All-time highs, everything. Looking at gold monthly, just crazy bullet. It don't even make no sense. Like, oh my freaking goodness. Look at this monthly, man. From August all the way to now. Literally just straight green bullets rip, man. That's crazy. Like if somebody got this B trade on Go and they was able to, like, they got a real live futures account and they held that mud, bro, they are paid like, god dang. That's crazy. Let me see some. I ain't got. We finna pocket watch a little bit on their gold. We finna pocket watch. If somebody had one micro gold and they in a live account, market currently where is it? And it's a micro. Boy, they up about 10 bands off one micro, and they only risk 3. That's crazy right there. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Looking at gold though, monthly, of course, straight bullish. Weekly, we got some solidified levels. Yes, we got solidified level on the weekly at 4284.5. Ain't that right? Yeah, 4284.5 solidified level. Nice. Okay. So weekly, we want to see, can it close above this previous high? Pretty much, we want to see uptrend forming this week above 45, or basically 4,584. We want to see an uptrend forming above there. Uptrend can form above there. Man, we probably gonna keep squeezing on gold prior to that 670, 680s, 680s level. But we did solidify 42,000. 4,284. I'm on here tripping, man. When we just broke this high just now. Okay, going to that daily. Like we said, it solidified that level once we broke that high. I don't know what. Oh, I just turned this red just now, earlier in the start of the stream. But we solidified the level once we took that high. Let me remove these because I really don't care about these higher lows once we solidify the new level. All right. So what we're looking for, our target and our solidified level. Target was, but it just took it, so it's okay. But target was 4,584. Solidified level was 4,284.5. Okay, that means we need to look for a trade with inside here. Pretty much, I ain't gonna say ain't no sense in me doing this, but we gonna do it anyway, cause it is some sense to doing it. Cause like I said, we already took the high, but I still need to go over our analysis. So that was our target. We look for our trade in between this green and this red. Only gap we got to look for that potential entry was right here. We need a break, retest to go higher. Clear as day, we see that it already did it. It already done it. Because this was the only gap. This was our only gap to look for the entries to go long. Market already done it. Nice, beautiful trade. Now, what we want to see though, this is the new thing that we got going on. Want to see market stay above this 4,415 level. Excuse me, because this is a new higher low level, and this was the higher low that led us to that new higher high. So we want to see market stay above this for the bulls. Want to see market stay above this. Really, what we really want to see nicely for the market to do for continuation is to hold above that 4,585 level. We want to see what an uptrend on that lower time frames above that level. Okay, don't got no true targets because we at all-time highs, but y'all know how I say it. When you get in the trade, go down to a lower time frame and sit behind the solidified levels. So say if we see an uptrend on the hourly, right? We see an uptrend on this hourly above this level. We would like to take the longs, right? We would like to take the longs once the uptrend form above. So say this close red, we don't go close back below. When we come take this high, we like them longs right then and there. Then we drop down to that 5-minute, and we're gonna sit behind those solidified levels and just ride it all the way up. Okay? That's literally all we're gonna do. That's literally gonna do. Fine. So we see that hourly make an uptrend above. Remove this because it is kind of big. But if we see this hourly make an uptrend above this previous high, that's exactly what we're looking for. High, low. Once we make that new higher high, we get in just like this. Where's the longs? Long. Get in, stop loss at literally at this gap or whatever the low is. that we don't break below, like close below. But just say it's at the line or whatever, like it's slightly below that line. Get in like that, and then like we said, we drop down to that 5 minute. Once we get in, once it crosses that high, if this candle close red, this candle close green, don't matter. But once we see it, cross that high, go down to the 5 minute and sit behind them solidified levels. Or you can get in off the 5 minute. You know, you can get off the 5 minute making an uptrend. Also, it's just if you get in off the 5 minute, you need that high, low. Soon to break A, get in, longs, and then you'll use the 1 minute for your solidified levels instead. You use that 1 minute to sit behind solidified levels instead of the 5. So whatever time frame you get in on, you just go to a lower time frame than that to move your solidified level. Now you can't be getting in off the 1 minute because ain't no who finna go to the 30-second and use solidified level. So you need to at least be getting in on the 5 minute or higher if you're trying to get in them longs pretty early off of an uptrend getting formed. Okay. And like I said, I forgot to say this on stream. This is not financial advice. This is my own opinions. Okay. So take it as you need it. All right. But that is what we're looking for gold for the longs. We want to see it above at 4,584 level. Now let's see. Because we don't got any other gaps. Don't got any other gaps above 4,415. So in the event that we do come back down, you could look for a long back off of this exact same gap. This gap right here. So if we come back down, you can be looking for another long right off of this gap again to go right back up. Okay? Literally to bounce right back up. Now for the bears, what the bears want to see, they want to see us below 4,584. So let me drop down to that hourly. The bears want to see us to make a downtrend below it. So they want us to close below, retest, fill it, make that lower low. Then that's where you get in them shorts down to an hourly gap, potentially down to that daily gap. Okay. But where's the first hourly gap? First, I think that's a very small hourly gap. Yeah, it is. So that'd be the first target. Extra small. Let's make sure there ain't no other hourly gap before over to the left. Oh, it is. Okay. We got other hourly gaps. So let's pull that over. I ain't gonna mark that one below. We just gonna mark this because this would be the first target. So depending on where it be at, wherever that downtrend happen, if the downtrend happen up here, then of course your first target will be right there. If that downtrend happen in it or below it, your first target will be down there. Okay. But yeah, that is what we're looking for the shorts. Okay, you want to see us be below 4,584. Come on now. Below 4,584. And then you take your shorts down to the hourly gap if it's a downtrend in it. Okay. Now let's go over some stocks. We done with futures. So hopefully y'all good. Hopefully y'all got everything for the futures. Let's go over some of these stocks real quick. And then we're gonna call it for the day. Daily. Looking at Walmart. Let's go to Walmart first, man. I ain't gonna lie. I just love Walmart chart. Last week it was a little choppy. Like it kind of did what we needed last week, but it was a little choppy. I ain't gonna lie. It was a little bit choppy, but it's still looking nice. Looking at Walmart, daily. Walmart daily. We end up doing what? We made higher highs, right? Higher highs. Then we came and made lower lows. Broke the trend right here, lower low. Then we start making another uptrend again, okay? And this is where we end up getting some longs. We end up getting, when it made this higher high, we got in the long. Supposed to aim for what? First target. First target on the daily, though. Let's see. First target on the daily. We didn't have any gaps up here, I don't believe. Let me make sure. Didn't have any. No. Yeah, daily we had no gaps. So the daily we were expecting it to shoot straight up to 116, but clear as day we end up coming back down. So we probably rejected off an hourly gap somewhere inside here, which is very fine, which is fine. But Walmart ended up coming down, breaking these lows, breaking this uptrend that we end up having. So we end up breaking them lows. So we disrespected this higher low here, disrespected that higher low, came down to the daily gap. But then right after making lower low, we did what? Made a higher high. So what's this telling us? Indecisiveness. Market is making is indecisive right now. For Walmart. But currently who in control? The Bulls. So that was the last thing we did. Last thing we did was make a high. So the Bulls are in control. Now, for us being bullish, we're looking for what? Market to stay above 109.81. And then we want to see what uptrend form above this previous high. We took the previous high, but we didn't make an uptrend above it. We came right back below. So we want to see market go back above 114.79. Start being an uptrend above to ultimately take us to what? 116 level. Okay, that's literally all we're looking for. Then for her Walmart. Okay, so we see uptrend forming above 114.79. We like them longs. Right now it's sitting at it in the aftermarket. For the bears though, we want to see what? For the bears, we want to see to go back below it, take it back down to that 112.93 level. Okay. The last thing we did was make a higher high. We did not establish a uptrend just yet. Like we said, we made a higher high, but we did it right after making the low low. So we need either a red candle to come. We need a red candle to come so we can make a low. Then the next green candle, make another high, and we make that high. That's when you get in them longs, take it up to 116. Or like I said, you can see an uptrend just form above here. We can get that continuation straight to 116. Or you can wait until what? We break this high at 117.45 because what? That will solidify this low right here at 109. Okay? So those are the entries for Walmart. Let's go check out CrowdStrike. Okay? Let's check out CrowdStrike. Y'all know I love the CrowdStrike, man. This is where we've been making all our money off of. Last week was neutral, though. We didn't really get to make nothing off of CrowdStrike or really Walmart too much other than Monday and Tuesday. Really after that, once Wednesday came, we pretty much broke even on our stocks last week. We had very little progress on them stocks last week. But it's fine because like I said, this week looked very nice. So we can make some nice money this week on these options. Okay. Looking at CrowdStrike weekly. Let's go look at the weekly real quick. Well, let's look at the monthly actually, because we are pushing pretty hard. Oh, monthly, we just making the low still making this low. Oh, that's why we ranging so bad on CrowdStrike. Look at this, y'all. Let's actually remove all drawings so y'all can see it clean. I was wondering why we kept ranging so hard on CrowdStrike. Y'all look at this. We got, of course, overall uptrend, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high. We doing our pullback right now, so we're making some type of low. But this is why we ranging hard. Can y'all tell what it is before I even say it? Why y'all think we've been ranging on CrowdStrike? Looking at this monthly. Here it go. All right, the reason why we've been ranging. Look at this. Easy peasy. We sitting inside a monthly daily gap. This whole, cause if y'all been watching this stream, we constantly been going from 457, 456, all the way back up to like 470s. So literally that's that range. This range right here on this monthly is 457 up to 475 for that monthly. So you know what? We're gonna actually draw this monthly. We're gonna keep it because as we sitting inside this monthly range, I need to be aware of where we at. Okay. So we gonna what color? Dang, I ain't do no monthly draws in so long. I forgot what color I used to do them. I know purple I used to do for weekly. No, gold what I used to do. Yellow I used to do for weekly. So monthly was purple, I believe. We're gonna do purple. All right. I'm gonna make that inside a little lighter. All right. So we need to keep an eye on this monthly, because we literally sitting inside a monthly gap. Okay. Ain't no wonder we've been ranging crazy like that, man. I wonder why we were ranging crazy like this, but this is why. So by us knowing we in the monthly though, should be pretty easy trades until we break out one direction or the other. Um, all we looking for when it's at the bottom, if it can't break through, wait on the uptrend to form, take it back to the top. When we at the top, if we can't break through, wait till the downtrend to form, take it back to the bottom. Now we break through either direction and we make an uptrend in that direction. We want to take it all the way to them highs, break down to the downside, make a downtrend. We want to take it all the way down to these lows. So it pretty much should be easy trades on CrowdStrike. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. The hardest part is being in the inside when we gotta try to reverse and stuff. But I ain't gonna lie, CrowdStrike kind of look like an easy trade chart. All right, looking at the weekly though. Weekly we did break out, but failed to stay underneath. Weekly we are in a downtrend. Weekly we in a downtrend. Did we break the down? Yes, we did break the downtrend on the weekly. Previous lower high we had was 485.87. We broke it right here on Monday. We broke it. Monday, hold up. No, oh yeah, that's the weekly. I'm tripping. The week of January 5th. I about to say Monday. I know we on like the 11th or 12th. I was about to trip. Look, man, I'm tripping. I'm thinking of the dang daily. But it show you the weeks of. So the last week we broke it. Last week we broke that high. So we broke the downtrend. Is it gonna lead us to an uptrend? Is we gonna get high, low, higher, high? And then we eventually coming up to this 529, eventually up to this 563 level. This is very, very important. I'm not gonna lie, this is key for CrowdStrike. We just broke this high. These next 2 to 3 weeks are very important for CrowdStrike. We just broke that high, right? What do we need to see now? Like we said, is it gonna lead us to uptrend? We're gonna have high, then low. Potentially, if this week can be red, we'll make a low. All right, Mel. All right, bro. Have a good one, man. I see you tomorrow on tomorrow's stream, bro. But we had this low. If that so this say this is this week. That next week, if we can push back green, boom, make that higher high, solidify a level down there, and take to the top. All right, Mel. All right, Mel. But yeah, that's what we're looking for on CrowdStrike. We make that higher high. I mean, make that uptrend. Might see this mug explode. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Might see it explode. Now, if it fails it, for the Bears, we need a little bit more work. For the Bears, we need what? Cause we just made a higher high. We need what? Lower low, high, then lower low again. Okay. So Bears, on the other hand, need a little bit more work. All right, going to that daily though. Looking at that daily. Like we said, we ended up making that higher high. Last week. Last week on the weekly. So it potentially could be setting up for an uptrend, man. Potentially could be setting up for the potential uptrend. Let's go back to that weekly real quick. Weekly high. So looking at the daily, overall downtrend, right? Overall downtrend. So let's mark out the solidified levels. And that's only for this most recent area. Big picture uptrend though. But we doing it for the most recent stuff. And that's another thing I want to point out for y'all. When we doing stocks, we look at the overall big picture, but we mostly gonna be focusing on them weeks right then and there on the stock. Cause a lot of times stocks gonna take a little while to move back to all time highs and stuff. versus MNQ and all them. They move pretty quick to their targets. All right. But looking at this overall downtrend, got low, got that low there. I mean high, lower high, my bad. Lower high. Then we made this low. This the next lower high. Come on now. Oh, that's why I got the drawing thing on. Like, why is it still drawing? And then we broke. Which one was it? Which one we just broke? Oh, we broke an intra-trend one. We ain't break no recent. Alright. Now what I was saying? Overall bullish, right? So ultimate target is 566.90s. So last solidified level all the way down here at 402.66. Let's mark that out. Potential bounce off of what? These daily gaps. So we got a daily gap there to protect it, which it already broke once. We got another daily gap. Right here. And remember, this was that level we said we was looking for an ultimate target. If we break below that daily gap, retest to go lower, I said we was gonna ultimately look for what? 442, but on that day, on that monthly, was it a monthly or the weekly? We said it was like 445 was a gap or something. Let's go check real quick. I don't know if y'all remember from last week. I think we said 445. What was it? Yep, 445. That's this gap right here, this monthly gap. We was like, hey, we might just get out at 445 if we get in them shorts for that daily underneath this daily gap. Because we didn't want to bounce off no dang monthly. Where's the next gap? We got another gap here. Dang, that got little. Hold up. Alright, those are gonna be the only ones we marked for right now. Like we said, these are for potential bounces to go long. The bulls. Let me mark these gaps above real quick. Okay, we rejected. We got one here, but I ain't gonna mark that. I think that's it. Oh, we got a gap right here. Then that's it, I believe. So it really ain't got too much in the way once we go back long. We got two gaps, and that's it. But yeah, for the bulls, like I said, y'all want to see what us bounce off of these daily gaps. We just broke back above, so we got our breakout on this daily gap. Potentially the retest also. So we got the break, red candle fell to close inside. All we need now is just a higher high. Green candle, higher high. Then it's in the uptrend. Should take us up to this 491 gap right here. And we can break past there, keep going. Of course, we'll look for that potential uptrend above it to take us up to what? These highs first at 529.90, and then eventually this gap up here at 542. Okay. But we need to see what a higher high can form on that daily. Pretty much that's all we really looking for the bulls. For the bears, we want to see what lower low come, retest, make another lower low, take the shorts down to 442. Okay, so let's put our drawing tools so I know exactly what we're looking for. What's this, short or long? It's the long one. Okay, so we need higher high. So once we break it, of course your stop ain't gonna be down here, because once we break it, we're gonna go drop down to that hourly and use any hourly gaps up here. So we just put it like here for now as a 1-to-1. We at least gonna want a 1-to-1 entry. Okay, so that's where we're looking for our longs up here. For our shorts, so we're looking for longs above 486 up to 491, potentially up to that 498. Okay, for our shorts, we're looking for, like we said, underneath. We need a daily gap underneath for the shorts. Entry probably be like right here, so that'll make that lower low. So we look for shorts underneath. What's that level? 449.46. Okay. Those are the two potential entries for CrowdStrike. Okay. And then, like I said, based off that monthly, you could also find shorts and longs off this monthly. I'm gonna change this color from purple because I need something more standing out. Okay. We also can take shorts and longs off of this monthly fair value gap too. If we fail to close back above and start making a downtrend, you can take it to the bottom of the gap, the 457. Same thing down here. We fail to close below and we start closing back inside to the with a green counter, we can take it back to the top at 475. Okay. Now let's go check out Nvidia. Nvidia. Looking at that daily, really ain't got to change too much. Target still the same. It's this high at 212. Let's delete these other targets for now. Potential new higher low. This low right here at 182.35. So we kind of want to see market stay above there. Do we got any gaps for the bounce off of this current one that we failing to go above? Go below. And then we got this gap here also at 183.49. We can look for potential loans off of there. Oh, wrong one. Back up to that previous gap, ultimately to them highs up there at 193. Okay, we break 182.35, then we gotta be back neutral. We gotta be back neutral. We could see the bounce happen off these gaps, but we back neutral once it breaks 182.35. Okay. Set an alert right here at 183. Alright. Not really hard for a meta. Tesla. Tesla. What the world going now? What is all this on Tesla? What is all this? I don't even know what that is. I feel like we deleted all them green lines before. How did they come back? I don't know. But Tesla, we got high, low, higher, high. Solidify level down here at 382.78. Most recent solidify level, I guess you could say. We want to see market stay above 422. So we should see it bouncing off of a gap. It did do it. Kind of missed that entry. This literally was a nice entry for the longs, but it's completely fine. Like I said, we don't want to see it go below 422. Right now, market rejecting it. Is it gonna lead us to this uptrend? That's the thing now. If we're gonna lead to this uptrend making that higher high, and then making low, higher, high. Okay. Currently, what we will be looking for potential entries. Really just a continuation all the way up to this 457 level. So we'll look for what? Longs above each of these gaps. So longs above 445. 445 up to 449. We get above 449 level. Look for them longs. Hold up. Look for them longs above 449 up to 457. Shorts, all y'all want is what? For the bears, we want us to come up to the 455 level, reject it, make a downtrend. We take it down to 436. If it breaks 436, we want a downtrend underneath there to take us back down to 426, possibly down to 422 level. And then if it breaks 422, it really can drop pretty hard because the next level until 382. Okay, so those are our opportunities for the shorts and opportunities for the long. Okay, for Tesla. All right, we're gonna keep it plain and simple and gonna keep moving. Is that it? I think that's all that we like to go over because, like we said, we still ain't full with Meta. Even with our real time data, this thing still got this big old wick, and I don't know why. I think that's all we're gonna go over today. Let's check out PNC. PNC. And then I think we said Stanley also. See what they charts looking like. PNC, uptrend. Is it at all-time highs? At all-time highs. Let's go to that monthly real quick. Monthly, yep, all-time highs. Let's mark out. Want to see uptrend above this monthly high at 214. We're going to make that yellow. Weekly. Got high, low, higher, high. Oh, we made lower low. We had a lower low right here. Interesting. Lower low with a higher high. Draw down to the daily. Give me a second. I'm about to type. Hey, my bad. I ain't mean to put the whole screen on the side. My bad, y'all. I'm gonna put weekly. Alright. Look at the daily. We got a solidify level here at 214.85. Want to see market stay above there. Target 220. Don't got no daily gaps to bounce off of. So this red candle, long as, hey, if it make a downtrend, hey, it's gonna break that 214. So you kind of want to just see a green candle come at this point if you want to be bullish for PNC because we don't got no gaps. Dropping down to the hourly, do we got any potential spots to bounce? Ooh, this is ugly. I don't like how these aftermarkets look. Pre and aftermarket. But don't really see no gaps for us. And it did form a downtrend. Yeah, we don't like PNC. Don't really like PNC. It does what it does. We don't really like it. Let's see. Morgan Stanley. I don't know what Morgan Stanley. I think it's MS, ain't it? Let me see. MS. Hold on. MS. Yeah, Morgan Stanley. MS. I would say I traded it one time before. Looking at Morgan Stanley. Go to the monthly. Green. We mark out that monthly. Monthly high. Weekly. Green. We do got a new solidified low on that weekly. Daily. Right. Is this solidified? Yeah, I think this is it right here. Yeah. Daily is all the way down here. Do got a gap to protect the daily. Okay, Morgan Stanley got Oh no, we don't. They almost got it. But Morgan Stanley do look a little bit better than PNC when it comes to our setups. So we got, if it switch to a downtrend, make a lower low. Look for a bounce at this 181.10 level. That's what we look for the potential longs at. And then we first take it back up to 182.34. Then if we can keep pushing above 182.34, back to the all-time highs. Okay. That's what we look for from Morgan Stanley. But right now it's not in a downtrend. So we ain't got to worry about that right now. We got high, low. Look for this new higher high. So we're going to use this low as our potential higher low. This our potential higher low right there at 183.66. Dropping down to that hourly, we want to see uptrend staying above here, that 183.66 level. Right now we see that uptrend. High, low, higher, high, low, higher, high, low, higher, high. So we seeing uptrends on this hourly. Okay, do we got any hourly gaps in case we do switch to the downside? I think this is one. Yeah, it's real small. Extremely small, but it is one. Trying to make sure I don't see any more. Any more hourly? Yeah, we got one up here. Alright. Oh, and then we got this big huge one. I'm tripping. We got a big huge one we currently sitting in right now, but it's fine. So we just mark it out. We want to see the uptrend above it. 186. Alright. So Morgan Stanley. Like we said, we want to stay above this 183.66 level. Right now, it's already forming these uptrends, so you kind of missed the entry to go long, but you still good because the ultimate target is up here. Dang, I thought we marked our ultimate target. Ultimate target is 188.82. So you still got some room to get in them longs. Like I said, based on that hourly though, we want to get in on what? The pullback spot. Well, right now this is the pullback spot. So we'll look for potential longs off of this hourly gap here at 186.30s. Okay. So we might look at this on Monday and see what this Morgan Stanley looking like. Because I don't think their earnings come out till later at the end of the week. So like Thursday or Friday. Morgan Stanley might be an actual trade we might be looking for. Okay. Might be looking for Morgan Stanley. Gotta see what it look like once market open tomorrow. So let me add it to our list and then we're gonna call it for the night. Let's just do it over here. MS. Let's bring it to the top. Hey, we need to reduce this list. We got too much stuff on our red now. Come on now. But yeah, we're going ahead and call it for the night. That's all we're looking for. So y'all have a